Welcome to InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw. Our topic today is the local housing emergency, which affects all of us and will need all of us as a community to solve. Meanwhile, a large and growing homeless population needs our help right now. What can we do to help? We invited United Gospel Mission's Mark Hunter, Development Director, and Lacey Wheeler, Capital Campaign Director, to give us some perspective and tips. In an extraordinary meeting on January 21st, the city of Salem declared a housing crisis. That's huge. And people know that the problem of homelessness is very visible in their neighborhoods, on the streets of Salem. And there's talk, there's fear, but you, as Union Gospel Mission, have been on the front lines of serving people who are homeless temporarily or otherwise for years and years. What's this like from your perspective?
The homeless issue here in Salem is very visible, especially this time of year, because the cold weather are driving people to be together and to huddle together. So our perspective is that we want to do our part in this. And so we shelter 200 men a night, 100 women a night, and that's our part that we can accomplish.
But that's not nearly enough given the need right now, is it?
It's not. Again, we are just doing our part, and we're part of a huge network of people who are working together for this.
People ask, what's going on? Why is it so much more than it ever was in the past? The homeless people.
I believe that you'll find that true in most communities across the country. It's not unique to Salem. So I think that sheltering's necessary. What that looks like is what everybody's grappling with right now, and I think it will continue to be grappled with until there's some reasonable solutions and facilities available to shelter more.
And you are in the midst of building exactly that, a brand new building to house more people and offer more services. How's that campaign going?
It's going well. My button here says, I made room. And that button was presented to a lot of donors last Thursday at our celebration party, that we were able to say, hey, we reached our goal for financing this building. All the financing is in place. The builders on the site, we're moving forward with this project.
When will it be completed and people move in?
So, if everything goes well with construction and everything else, we're expecting to open our doors March of 2021.
March of 2021?
That is correct.
And how many people will that be able to shelter?
We'll be able to serve twice as many more. So that's twice as many beds for a total of 300. And this is going to be in a building engineered for recovery. No longer bunk beds that guys have to crawl up into, whether or not they have ailing physical aspects, but a very welcoming atmosphere designed really with them in mind.
I think the exciting thing about our building, as Lacey says, is it's state of the art when it comes to shelters and serving our homeless brothers. There's so many different aspects that are being put into this building that are will address the health and safety of everybody that comes in the building, whether it's staff, whether it's guests, whether it's volunteers, whatever the case may be. Just a state-of-the-art facility. It's 3 floors. The recovery floor is on the top floor, and that's where men will have a chance to really transform their lives through education, through counseling, through fellowship, all those things. So it's exciting.
Lacey, they also don't come to you right away sometimes. You go out and you talk to people, and not everybody takes advantage of your services the first time. Why is that?
It's a good question. This is not only a very visible issue, it is also very highly complex because you're dealing with other people who may have mental disabilities, people who may have been suffering from grief or trauma, people who may have been burned before by others, there's a lot of human dignity that needs to be reaffirmed, and that's what we do. Our doors are, of course, always open to anyone who comes in, but we are now being a lot more proactive even before a new mission is built with our search and rescue. We have Bruce Donahue, a man who once lived on the streets, going out every day and actually going into the camps, building those relationships with people, just establishing that trust between two people and that dignity, and saying, hey, man, where are you at? What's your life story? We can help you. Will you allow me to take you back inside? You want to be warm tonight.
Many people want to help, but they're not sure how to do it right. Can you help us out here with that?
We can definitely give a few hints. Like I said, it's a very complicated issue, but there is a lot of fear of the unknown. And I think that's what a lot of people are concerned about. They feel compassion for these people, but it's becoming so overwhelming, and there is that element of unknown that does lead to fear. And so we recommend that if someone wants to really just learn more, but maybe they don't feel safe just walking up to someone downtown, to engage and come in the doors of UGM, or not just us, any nonprofit that's serving the homeless neighbors, and being able to not only serve and learn exactly what's going on and what's needed, but after you serve lunch, sit down with the guests and just hear their stories and just talk to them. That's really the first step.
They're
Yes,
people.
They are people. And just like anyone else, they need someone to make eye contact, affirm their dignity, and say good morning, or little things like that that we take for granted.
But you also have a card that you can have people hand out if they want. You make those available. Tell me about why you think that's an almost better solution than just handing someone cash.
Yeah, we actually created these resource cards, and these are a really great tool that if you want to give someone maybe a cup of coffee or some food you see on the corner, but you don't want it to just stop there, because that's not really challenging them to become a better person. You're just kind of leaving them just a little better off, which maybe that's all you can do that day. But these resource cards, they have our locations, the Men's Mission, Samaka Place for Women and Children. They have addresses, they have meal times. They just list a lot of our core services that anyone can access. Mail services if they're waiting on benefits or housing vouchers. They have our free laundry services, showers, just those core services, so that people who don't know about us, as well as, we try to share, we can't share with everyone, or people who are out of the area know where to go and what they can expect.
What about the community coming together to collectively solve it? I understand that you meet with others in this effort.
Absolutely, no one can do this alone, and so we have the privilege of hosting the Emergency Housing Network meetings once a month, where people who are serving in all facets of this, whether that's veterans or just children, whatever, we actually all come together and discuss, hey, I have 4 beds open tonight. Do you have anyone over here who needs help? And we really try to coordinate our efforts, because it's only together that we can make a difference.
And is that where this is really going to be solved collectively?
It is. It's a community issue, so the community is going to have the solutions. And we only can do that when we're working together and understanding the issue. And I think having a core baseline knowledge of what it's like to be homeless is important, and that's why the city is saying, we are saying, come inside, come coffee with us, come meet our men and women that are in our shelters and understand where they're coming from. It's a mosaic of great stories, and you learn so much about what drove them to homelessness, why they've remained in it, and how we can help them to get through it. It's compassion.
And if they want to learn more about Union Gospel Mission, how do they get in touch?
There are a few ways besides dropping by one of our sites or our temporary admin office at 255 Division Street Northeast. You can give us a call at 503-967-6388 or go online to ugmsalem.org.
Thank you for joining us today on InSight. I'm Wendy Brokaw.